Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video, and it will be the only video, well the last video on the little Citroen Berlingo multi-space XTR. So if you haven't watched part one of this, we bought it from Copart, reasonably cheap. It was reasonably cheap. Needed a suspension leg this side, front wing, got a little bit of damage on the mirror. The headlight's broken, that is the original sitting in there at the moment. And the bumper had a couple of dents in it, but Chris managed to warm it up and straighten it out. So we put a second-hand leg on it and a brand new, genuine Citroen wing. There is a little bit of damage as well on the door here, very, very minimal. And Chris has straightened that up, but it is going to need a tiny little bit of filler to here. But the plan is with this one is actually to repair it in-house. I'm going to pop over to Kent Paints, pick up some paint for it. Chris is going to strip the wing and the door off, do that repair, and he's actually going to paint those in the booth. 61 2012, lovely, lovely low mileage on this one, and it is an automatic, so automatic. We're with aircon as well, so we want to get this one done, get it turned around, and ultimately get it out the door to someone that is going to use it or actually needs it. The only other problem with this one, when Chris was driving it up and down the yard, it has got a bit of a clicking noise coming from that back wheel, so we're not sure if something's broke off there or there's something touching the wheel. I first thought it was a stone, but we'll get it once we get it up in the air and start stripping it down. We can spin the wheel and see if we can locate what that issue is and get that rectified. So let's crack straight on with it. No messing around there, guys. Chris has got the wing off, got it all prepped, ready for some primer, and he's also done that repair on that door as well, which we knew this was very, very minimal when we bought it. Do you remember I was saying, is it actually dented? And to me it felt perfect, and Chris said, no, there is a little bit in there, and it just shows you, after he straightened that out, the size of the repair. So this will only be very, very thin, but still he's had to go that far to blend it in. He's just waiting for these little tiny bits of stopper to go off. So stopper is like basically, if you get any imperfections in your filler, any little tiny holes, instead of refilling the whole thing and rubbing it down again, you can put the stopper in the holes, let it go off, and just gently rub that off after. So while we are waiting for that to go off, we are going to investigate on this one. When Chris was driving it up and down the yard, it had a bit of a clicking noise. Sounded like a stone in the tyre or something rubbing, so we're going to investigate that as well. It didn't take long, guys, because we knew it was coming from the back. Spun the back wheel the other side, spun this one. And that's exactly what we could hear outside. And this little black cover, is it? Yeah, wasn't clipped in, it was hitting the weight. It's still hitting a little bit.
No, it's not.
There's still a little click in there. It's definitely that black cover though, isn't it? So
Yeah, slow, do it slower. Slower. All right.
that's it, gone. So that's that little black cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's handy. Another thing sorted. The next morning, and the primer has now gone off, so Chris completely primed that wing because it is new. and it just had the protective sort of primer over the top of it, anti-corrosion, whatever you'd like to call it. And the door, you can see he's primed that, guide coated it as well, and this morning come straight in with his blocks, ready to block that all down, get rid of any high spots, low spots, clear off all of the guide coat on there, and then he'll be moving on to painting it. So he's going to be painting probably 1/3 of this door and then lacquering the whole door. So we are just going to let him concentrate and get that done this morning, because ultimately we want to get this one turned around. It is nice quick job. Painting is not something we normally do in-house, but where it is just a wing and a repair on the door, Chris said, you know what, Rob, grab the paint and I'll do it. Which reminds me, I still haven't got the paint, so I need to whip over and get that, because he's going to need that today, isn't he? Right, let's let him get on. I'm not going to go right in, guys, because Chris has just finished. I think he's going to wet the floor down. Have you panel wiped them already? Yeah. You'll be going over them anyway, won't you, after you wet the floor? But they are now ready. Wings all flatted off there, and the door, you can see that repair there, and the way it's all faded out. Chris, are you going to try and film a bit of painting? Oh, you are going to film some. I'm hoping.
Only the best bits.
Only the best bits. I'm hoping, guys, I actually got him enough paint. I only got you 1/4 litre, but that should be plenty for that, shouldn't it? By the time you've knocked it up with the hardener and that, so let's let him get all set up and paint them in. Standing there where you was in the shadow, it looks like it was a bad job. Can you see those two? But if we move away, guys, it is the next day. They've dried off now and couldn't be happier. Chris actually said the blend went perfect and you can't see it at all. So that's the door all repaired and the wing all painted in. So he's just now messing around doing
the door handle on.
Put the door.
Before we lift the door on the car, because we can latch it and then bolt the hinges up.
We can do, and then you're just going to carry on putting that one all back together, aren't you?
Yeah, wing on, new washer bottles in it, so...
All quite straightforward and...
Yeah, not a lot to put back on.
Going to be pretty much ready to go soon.
Yeah.
Right, let's help you get that door lifted on after you've got that handle fitted. They're quite straightforward, aren't it? One grub screw.
That's it.
Yeah. Right, let's do it. Chris gets carried away there, guys, doesn't he? I did say probably about time we had a little bit of a cut-in and a bit of a progress update, but look at that little van. There's only been one video when we got this, and this video now, isn't it? So it's coming along pretty quick. Got the new headlight in there, wings all back on, doors back on there. Is there even any polishing to do to that?
We could do with a little mop. But,
yeah.
We'd probably get it MOT first, wouldn't we?
Yeah, do all the... go through and test it, etc. But you're pretty much there with it. You've got wheel arch liner to do and just sticking a few extra bolts in it. But there it is, near enough done. As soon as Chris is done, we get it over for an MOT and give it a nice clean, I suppose. Did get this headlight off of Eddie, and he also had a few sets of the old brand new Berlingo mats. So I've just stuck a set in that little white van we got, and we're going to stick a nice set in this, which that nice set of mats does finish them off, Chris, doesn't it? Does make it look really nice inside. So let's let him carry on. Done it, guys. Check it out. Who would have known now that that has been damaged? Even the paint match is very, very nice. The rest of it does want cleaning, but Chris made a really, really nice job of that. Painted in that wing, done that little repair on the door there, painted that in. And this one is, it's actually turned out to be a really, really nice little vehicle. Only 41,000 miles on it. Got that nice new set of mats there from Eddie. I know a lot of you did mention in the video, try and find another 2 seats for it, but I don't think we're actually going to need to. I think this is how we're probably going to let it go. But we just said, because we have done suspension on that, new everything it's had in that corner, all the new stuff that we've put in it, it does want checking for tracking. It actually looks bang on, but we've never driven this one very far, so I'm going to whip over and get the tracking and balancing done, and we'll probably get it cleaned up, and hopefully this is another one done. I noticed in the last couple of videos, people said, like, we're going to pick on that one in particular. I thought you weren't buying any more long-term projects. That car's actually nowhere near as bad as it looks, guys. It is just panel damage. So that's not a long-term project. As soon as we get the bits for that, we'll be turning that around. The Escort does always get a mention. We are just storing that for the person that bought it for a moment. That car is sold. Anyway.
Competition, bro.
Oh, the competition, right. On Sunday, we're putting it out. On Sunday, guys, you do not want to miss it. There's going to be a short video put out there. And to celebrate the 250,000 subscribers, we will be doing a dedicated video that you do not want to miss. Also, any competition correspondence will be in that Sunday video. No one is to respond or answer to anyone trying to pretend to be us, telling you you've won something. Reach out by, what did they say? What's that word they kept using? It weren't even email, was it? Telegram. It's not us, guys. They've nicked our picture. They've slightly altered the name, and it is not us. So it is going to be purely on that Sunday video. So look out for that. Anyway, let's carry on. I actually stopped at the yard on my way back there, guys, just to stop and have a bit of lunch. So it was pulling to the left on the way there, and as soon as we put it up on the tracking machine, you could see how far out that driver's side front wheel was. So we adjusted the tracking. I mean, we double checked that nothing was bent. We've replaced everything there, but the tracking was still out. So that's all been adjusted, and now it drives perfect. There's no vibration. You can have the steering wheel in your hand and it doesn't move one bit. It drives in a lovely straight line. Took it for an MOT. It is MOT'd already until November, but it's not really long enough. We wanted to put it through one. It had a bit of a wallop on that wheel, so it's nice to get it done and check it through. And it flew straight through an MOT. So the last job really to do is the inside of it, and it is, well, we know it's quite mucky, isn't it? So let's get it down the car wash, actually get this one cleaned, and then hopefully that'll be it. It'll be completely done. That's another one in the finish bay, guys. Absolutely love it. It's really, really turned around quick. And it's turned around very quick because Chris done those repairs in-house and did that bit of paint work. He doesn't want to make a habit of doing it. He's said it time and time again. We're not painters, but little bits like that, it's not so bad to do. And I think that the little van has actually turned out all right. Is it a van? Is it a car? I think it is a car. The MOT tester, I did ask him about the back seats. It's aircon pipes for something else, don't worry about that. the back seats. He said because they haven't got the buckles in there, they're not, he can't test them, so they're not part of the MOT. That there is one of the old mats, because of course I've put a nice new set of those ones Eddie give us. So those black mats, matching mats, and it all cleaned up in here really nice as well, as you can see. I took that little sticker off the back. It's nice to have all the glass clean. It had like a little paw print sticker here, didn't it? So I've removed all of that. Yeah, nice little car. Quite a lot of people said, are we going to get those rear seats for it? And that's not something we're going to get involved in. This is really going to do someone a turn, being automatic as well. Right, you know what time it is, guys? Let's go and crunch the numbers. Another one turned around that fast. Chris, would you believe, as soon as I cut it in then, the breeze started blowing through. We're probably going to have a load of wind noise. I think I better. 1 sec, guys. Can you believe that? We was just sitting here chatting. No one else to do that to you guys, leave you hanging on a YouTube video there while they shut the door. But me and Chris been sitting here chatting for 10 minutes and there weren't one drop of breeze blowing through there, and then it started blowing a gale. So don't forget, before we move on and do the numbers, on Sunday, it's just going to be sort of Sunday afternoon, isn't it? We haven't even chosen a time. You do not want to miss that video. That's going to be for the competition. So, and that competition's going to run for a period of time. We get more into that on the Sunday video, but of course you've all got that to look forward to, and we're pretty excited about it, and we know that quite a few of you guys are going to get excited about it as well. So the little Berlingo, not something I've had before. I mean, we've had similar with that little Kango, but that vehicle, I've just been sitting there going through the internet, and I don't just speak for me, I'll speak for me and Chris. We was both quite shocked at how much money those cars make, because it's automatic and it's so, is the word accessible, Chris? With the, yeah. Accessible for a disabled person. There seems to be a lot of people making micro campers out of them because they got all the windows in them, they got overhead pockets, etc, etc. So they look like they're quite a sought after vehicle. So as usual, we're not going to be greedy, but well, I think we're going to be doing better out of that than you would out of buying something a bit higher end and doing a lot of work to it. So purchase price £1,200. I think our maximum bid was £1,400, but we won it at £1,200, didn't we? Yeah. And they wasn't going to let us have it. It took a little while, and then they ended up letting us have it. Total with the fees, £1,516. So £316 worth of fees there on that one. Front suspension leg with hub. It was quite funny, and I felt quite cheeky speaking to Sheppy Salvage about it. I said, you got one of them free suspension legs. He said, what you on about? And then I reminded him of what he said to us. He said, Rob, honestly, 20 quid. And you can't grizzle at that, Chris, can you? Oh, but it's 20 quid we didn't have to spend, mate. Why did you throw them away? Wishbone, and he charged us a tenner for it. Wheel and tyre was £30. The front wing, genuine Citroen, £60. Headlight, £75 plus £10 postage, £85. And I think we got a price on a brand new one. And it was like £130 with a VAT. Patent part, yeah. A patent part. And the only reason really we didn't want to put, but we got no qualms with using them patent headlights. They're brilliant. We've used them before, haven't we? Yeah. But we used them as a pair. We didn't want to put a brand new headlight in it because it sticks out like a sore thumb. So we went for a second-hand one. The wheel splash, or as Chris likes to call it something else, £10. Washer bottle, £25. Tracking and balancing, you have got to bear in mind they do look after me, and he charged me 30 quid for that. It is a bit dearer if Joe Public drive in there. It's just we take everything there and we get a trade price. MOT, as usual, £40 and not one advisory, which is always a good sign. The valet I just had done, it was quite mucky inside, so £25. Paint, lacquer, materials, and a huge shout out to Chris, 100 quid. He done it in-house, and it's perfect, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got no problems with that at all. Floor mats, I got a couple more sets off of Eddie. Struggled to get him to take some money as usual, but I forced him to take 20 quid. We got a total of £1,971. I've just typed it in eBay. You're welcome to do it as well. 2012 Citroen Berlingo XTR. There's only two on there. One of them's 5.5 grand, done 100, and the other one's 8995, done 21,000, and it's a manual. I said to Chris, when initially we was repairing this car, I was like, what's it going to be worth, like 3.5 grand? And he said, yeah, I think so, around that. But after just looking and doing a bit more research, we're actually going to try our luck at 4,500 for that. And I know that'll make a lot of you happy, because although we like to leave enough in it for the next man, you do always say you're selling yourself short. We're not. We wouldn't sell ourselves short. We sell it obviously so we're making a living. And if we do sell it for that price, it's going to give us a pre-tax profit, which, I mean, I haven't said this amount for a while, £2,529. And I think you would agree that was definitely worth doing for that money. So that is the end of the video on the Berlingo. There's only been two, and that is the end of the series. As usual, if you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. And of course, it shows your appreciation. Like, subscribe and share. And most importantly, it's very important, don't forget, follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds. We'll see you all very, very soon in the next one.